Hello, my name is Derek Fowler, and this is my problem solution speech. My group of 5, this time with my sister behind the camera. Yeah, where are you at? You may be asking, what do these phrases have in common? Well, they're all typed right here every day. And 3 teenagers lost their lives by reading these while driving. In a documentary by AT&T called The Last Text, an officer described a scene that he responded to and was the first one on the scene. It was a girl laying face down on the pavement. He noticed her shoes first. It stuck out to him, but he didn't think anything about it until he looked in the backseat of the car and noticed the cap and gown and knew then that it was a high school student. Come to find out that the next day she would have been wearing that cap and gown to go down the receive her diploma with it. Because of reading a few words, she will not be able to do that anymore. And although texting and driving is illegal, it continues to cause serious injuries and take many lives. So we need to come up with solutions to protect our loved ones from making a costly mistake that may cost them their lives. According to the National Highway Traffic Administration, in 2015 alone, 394,477 people were injured in the United States. Of those, 3,477 lost their lives. So even if you were aware of the dangers of using your phone, be aware that the dangers still lurk from those who do. On my way to work one morning, I noticed a crash. This was the car that was hit by a larger truck. The back end of it was crushed all the way up to the front seat. I remember hoping there wasn't anybody in the back seat, but come to find out there were 3 children in the back seat. A 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 12-year-old. 2 were life-flighted to Vanderbilt with serious injuries, but the 9-year-old didn't make it. And I'm reminded every day by a cross that sits on the side of the road. 1 out of 4 car accidents in the United States are caused by texting and driving. It's a problem that a simple law just can't push hard enough to prohibit people from using their phones in their cars. We need to find better ways for our teenagers and young adults to protect them so that they can spend more time with the ones that they love. So let's talk more about the problem. It's said that texting and driving is more dangerous than drinking and driving, and is 6 times more likely to cause a fatal car accident. Also, 64% of all car accidents involve cell phones. That includes texting, talking, emails, social media, all of that. Drivers under the age of 20 have the highest rate of fatal car accidents involving texting and driving. It was also found that 42% of high school students who drove to school admit to sending text. And of those 42%, they're actually more likely to not wear a seatbelt, ride with someone who's been drinking and driving, or drink and drive themselves. And even though they know it's illegal, 35% do it anyways. Also, looking at your phone for 5 seconds while you're driving to read a text actually takes your attention off the road long enough for you to travel the length of the football field. And anything can happen in that 5 seconds. So keep your eyes on the road at all times and put your phone to the side if you want. A study at the University of Utah found that the reaction time of teenagers is actually equivalent to a 70-year-old that's not using a phone. So we just need to put our phones down and focus. And this is why we need solutions to this problem, because it's taken too many lives. We need to come up with ways to force people to put down their phones and focus on the road. A great example is a gadget by Scott Tibbetts and a group of Colorado-based entrepreneurs. They come up with a gadget that slips underneath your steering wheel, kind of like a progressive thing. And it actually connects to the cloud and sends an alert to your mobile carrier when you're driving. Once you're driving, it cuts off all notifications for emails, text, social media, anything that sends you a notification, it blocks completely until you finish driving, which is a really great gadget to have. Another great example would be for harsher punishment. Right now, it's punishable by a fine of up to $50 and a court fee that will not exceed $10, $60 altogether. That's just for veteran drivers. Novice drivers, ones that haven't been driving for a long period of time, their fines are $100 and are ineligible to apply for an unrestricted license or an intermediate license for 90 days after they would be able to actually be doing it anyways. which seems a little light for me. It kind of seems like a slap on the wrist for most people. So, since it's actually more dangerous than drinking and driving, why not make the punishments equivalent to that of a DUI? Right now, a DUI for a first offender is 48 hours in jail or up to 11 months and 29 days in jail, a fine of $350 to $1,500, and their license revoked. If they're caught more than once, the fines get larger, the jail time gets longer, it just gets worse from there, so don't do it. And this is why we need solutions for this problem, because it's such a large problem and it takes too many lives. Texting and driving is a major cause of fatal car accidents that involve distracted drivers. Laws are in place to counteract that, but they're just not good enough. But with new technology and harsher punishments, I think we can bring the death toll down and protect our loved ones. Because too many teenagers lose their lives, and too many parents celebrate birthdays with tears of sorrow rather than tears of joy. Liz Marks had an interview, and she was actually part of a texting and driving accident that limited her life tremendously. She said, the hardest part about my life after the car accident was the fact that I was alone. Everybody was away at college. I couldn't drive, couldn't go to college. My friends were there, but for me at first, but after a while they weren't. They got tired of me. They got tired of all my problems. But they had one last message to give everybody out there. Liz's mom, Betty, said, don't text your loved ones when you know they're driving. It can change their lives forever. Liz followed her by saying, if you get a text, don't look at it. It's not worth it. She actually read a message by her mother, which caused her to get in an accident, and she lost most of her hearing, her sense of smell, and also the ability to cry. So if you think it can't happen to you, think again. Put the phone down and actually reach the person that you want to talk to on the other end safely. Nothing is more important in your life. Thank you. Still here. Still here.
Thank you.